In this video, I will discuss about Elastic Beanstalk in AWS. So what is Elastic Beanstalk? So it provides the platform to handle the deployment, capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling and other functions. So it acts like a platform as a service, means it allows the user to directly use a pre-configured server for their application. So the server is entirely configured, user need not have to configure anything. And Elastic Beanstalk will allow the user to quickly deploy the application without worrying about the resources, the services, OS or the web server. So this is the architecture of this AWS here, and we have a domain name on the top of this, and Elastic Load Balancer is there that will distributes the load across the different web servers, and all the web server will have a common security group, and they have a auto scaling group. So auto scaling group is used whenever the load increases, automatically the EC2 instance will increase. When the load decreases, the EC2 instance are terminated, and all these web servers are in the availability zone. And if user wants the database, he can also use the database here, and the database is having its own security group. So what are the supported language platforms? So we have Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, PHP, Go, Node.js, Tomcat, Glassfish and Docker. So these are all the languages that are supported by the Elastic Beanstalk. So what are the features of the Elastic Beanstalk? So one is like it provides the fastest way to deploy the application. And second one is like focus on writing the code. So without worrying about the configuration, the user can write the code and handles the auto scaling of the resources. Whenever there is a need, the EC2 instance will increase, the resources are going to increase, and whenever the load is decreasing, the EC2 instance will terminate. So what are the components of the Elastic Beanstalk? So first we have the application, second we have the application version, and third one is like environment. So let us try to discuss the first thing, the application. So what is the application? When you create an application, you will place all the related files like code, configuration templates, code versions and the required files in a folder. So EBS application holds all the related files like platform resources, the configuration information to support the application when you deploy your application. So what is the application version? So let us try to understand this. So when we make the changes to your application, you can deploy the updated application via the Elastic Beanstalk. The application version is a link to the S3 object that contains your deployable zip or WAR file. So coming to the third one, application environment. So here the user may want their application to run the different environments like development, production, and you can create and configure the different environment to run the application on the different stages. And the environment hosts the required EC2 instance, the auto scaling groups. A single environment can only run the one version of your application. So you can deploy your new versions over the top of the existing application environment. So coming back to the environmental health. So AWS manages automatically the health checks on all the EC2 deployment, which can be monitored from the AWS consoles. So there are different colors that are used to check the health of the environment. So first we have the red. The application has failed all the health tests, and yellow is nothing but the application has failed some of the health tests, and gray is nothing but the application is still updating, and green is like application has passed the health check successfully. So coming back to the environmental tier. So one we have the web server where we can the front facing segment responds to the HTTP request from the user. And worker environment is nothing but the background service that processes the request delegated by the web server tier and run the workload processing background task. So if we have more request, then we'll go for the worker environment, and we have the less request, we can go for the web server. So let us try to move further. So coming back to the EBS architecture here. So one we have the Beanstalk environment. So what is this Beanstalk environment here? So Elastic Beanstalk environment is like a container for the unique version of the application. So second one is like Elastic Load Balancer. Elastic Load Balancer distributes the HTTP request to the EC2 instance that have been provisioned within the environment. And third one, we have the auto scaling group that will scale in and out the number of EC2 instance that exist within the environment based on the load. And EC2 instance is nothing but they are the images that run your workloads. And we have a host manager is present on each of your EC2 instance, and is responsible for monitoring and reporting on the performance of your application, generate the reports on the resource instance level events, and sends the logs to the CloudWatch dashboard. And security group will be last one is security group. Security group will be the provision for the EBS environment, and which will allow the HTTP access to your application using the port 80. And you can modify the settings in Elastic Beanstalk dashboard. So you can allocate the additional security groups. So this is the thing about the EBS architecture. And pricing, coming back to pricing, there is no extra charge for the using the Elastic Beanstalk. Users are only required to pay for the services and the resources provisioned by the Elastic Beanstalk service. So let us try to go for the demo. We'll try to understand better with the help of the demo. I'll try to show you the demo of the Elastic Beanstalk. So this is the console of the Elastic Beanstalk. So the first thing is like we have to create the application here. So what I am going to do is I will create the application. So we have to give the application name. So what I am going to say is my application, and the remaining things I will keep it as it is. And the platform, so need to choose the platform. So here I am choosing the PHP as my application that is running on the EC2 instance. So I am going to choose the sample application, or you can upload your own code. If you have your own code, that is also I am going to show you. And I click on configure more option. For configuring more, then you need to choose this option. So you can change the platform, software, instances, capacity. So here it is a single instance. If you want to go for the more instance, you can choose the load balanced, so which will come by using the load balancer. So I am going to select the single instance over here. So the instance type also you can choose t2.micro, t2.small. So I will save this. So remaining things I will keep it as it is. If you want load balancer, you can attach the load balancer. Security groups also you can change. And network database, if you want to attach any database, you can choose edit over here, and you can upload the database. Right now I am not using any database over here, so I will say create the application. So it will take certain time, wait till the application is created. So you can see that the health status is okay. And if I want to see whether the application is successfully running or not, so just click on this. You can see that the application is running successfully. So you can go to the EC2 and check whether the EC2 instance is running or not. So one EC2 instance will be created for this particular application. So if I want to upload my own code, then you can go and say upload, and choose the particular file, and here I am going to choose this. Now I am going to say this like deployed application, and I will select the deployer. So it will take some time. So here you can see that the status has changed to green. So what I am going to do is I am going to click on this URL and see whether the deployment is successful. Yes, I am successfully able to deploy this particular application. So now what I am going to do is I want to revert back to my previous version. So we can click on this application version. So this is the sample application. If I want to run the sample application. Then I need to then I need to select this and go to action, and I have to say deploy here. So it will ask for the environment. You can select whatever environment you want, and I will choose the deploy. So now we can see that the status has become healthy over here. I'll click on this URL and just refresh this. You can see that the previous application is running now. So you can change the application version. You can able to run only one application at the given time. Now what I am going to do is, if I want to change the configuration of this environment, I can click on this configuration and it allows me to change these things. So instance also you can change. If you go and edit this, you can choose the volume type. So it is container, and if you want to choose magnetic or SSD, then that can also be done. You can choose the security groups. If I want to choose my own security group, I can choose over here. Otherwise, say cancel. The capacity also you can increase. If you want auto scaling to be enabled, you can go and change this to load balance. So I will say cancel. I am not going to do any changes here. So database also, you can connect your own database if you want. So these things can be edited after creating the environment. So if I want to create a new environment, so what I am going to do is I choose the environment here and I say create new environment. So now it is going to ask which type of environment here you want. Either you want web server or worker environment. So web server is used for run the website, or worker environment is used to run the worker application that processes the long running workloads on the demand or perform tasks on a schedule. So if the application is having some task here, go for the worker environment. So I am going to choose the web server environment over here and I will say select. So application, the same application I am going to choose, my application. Environment name. So here I am going to say my new environment. So domain name. So we can check whether the domain name is available. My new environment is already taken. Something like I'll say my new environment 12. So platform, I'm going to choose the Node.js as the platform over here. So I'm say the application code as a sample application, and I'll say try to create the environment. So the new environment is created now. So it will take some time to create. So you can see that the new environment is created, and I have the health status as OK. Now if I want to run this, just click on this. The new application is now running, and you can see that the first AWS Elastic Beanstalk Node.js application is now running on your own dedicated environment. So we can see that there are two EC2 instances now. Before that it was only one. Now we can see that we have two EC2 instances running because we have two different environments here. So if I want to delete the environments, I go to the environments and I'll choose this, and I will say action, and I can terminate the environment. So if I want to delete this application, go to the application and choose the application and go to action and delete the application. So all this environment will be terminated. So the application is successfully deleted. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this video.